Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. Today, we're taking a look at, from the Transformers Age of Extinction line, what I believe to be Wave 2 of the Constructbots, Scorn and Dino Rider Crosshairs. I got these off of Hasbro Toy Shop. They, and a few of the other, what I believe to be Wave 2 Constructbots, are actually in stock now. So head on over and pick them up. There's a code that you can actually get free shipping, so it's worthwhile. We are familiar with the packaging, so let's get to the figures right now. Starting us off is Dino Rider Crosshairs. Right off the bat, I want to mention that the camera is lightening the green just a touch. It's actually a much darker green, closer to the colors of the deluxe toy. Also, this is basically, for the most part, a reuse of the Dino Rider Bumblebee mold. I think I've come to discover, having a few of these in hand, that their parts are actually very unique and individually molded. The only similar bits are probably the feet, the faction symbols, and the shells for the hood. Now, in the instructions, they say to clip the Autobot logo to this back clip here. I prefer keeping it centered since that looks a little bit better. I am also a little bit disappointed that they did not include a second pistol. I think they could have just made, I don't want to say eat the cost, but maybe up the parts count by 1 just to include it, since we know Crosshairs could be a dual wielder of sorts. Anyway, typical car build, does roll, and yeah, it's really about all I can say in vehicle mode, except for one little thing. If you take a look right here on this side, where it would be the arm, there are these little, I don't want to say splotches of black paint, because they look very deliberate and very symmetrical. I'm curious, as if was Crosshairs meant to have some sort of camouflage pattern that at the very last minute they decided not to do, because it looks very nice and would have brought out more of the uniqueness to the car, I should say. But yeah, so really nothing more to say about the vehicle mode. Let's take a look at the robot mode right now. Although the parts are unique to each Dino Rider figure, as I mentioned, the transformation is exactly the same. So here's Crosshairs in his robot mode. One nice little feature that I think is indicative of the Bumblebee mold is, since the hood is slightly different and I think attaches a little differently, you can actually, using the connecting piece, angle it and flip it out the back so it looks like it's flaring out like his robotic trench coat in the movie. Like I said, from the neck down, I'm pretty sure this is all Bumblebee. He does have this unique head sculpt, which is a little bit softer than the, harder movie design, since this is predominantly for kids. The handgun is very unique, and like I said, I wish it came with 2. Other than that, articulation is the same. The head is just on a faux ratchet C-joint, ball-jointed shoulders with nothing below. The hips, you have ball-jointed hips, ball-jointed knees, and ball-jointed ankles, which means from the waist down, Crosshairs is very articulated. And, these are those stiffer Constructbot joints, so you can rotate them, but they do have a tendency to pop off, but they do go back on quite nicely. So yeah, this is Crosshairs. Now let's get to the star of the show, Dinobot Scorn. Right off the bat, I do want to say that while Scorn has the simplest transformation of the Constructbot Dinobots as of this recording, I think it's fantastic. I love the bright, vibrant colors. It's basically a reddish orange. You have a little fading going on in these spikes, where it goes from like a lighter orange into that reddish orange. You have that brighter orange on the what will be the arm guards and feet, and it looks cool. Unlike Grimlock, his main shell is actually gray, and I think that contrasts very nicely in helping the colors pop. You also have a couple turquoise bits there. And yeah, I think this is really cool. I've never heard of this dinosaur before. I think he's a Spinosaurus or something. So, you know, there's that. Like the Dinobots, he does have a motion gimmick with a little gear here in the back. Before I start, let me just get it down here. I do want to point out when assembling the figure, you want to make sure that the little raised bar right where my finger is, that is facing up when you're pegging the backpack into the gear. That way you can ensure that the gimmick will work right, which is basically you rotate the dial and the fins will just flare up and down, just like so. And I mean, it's kind of cool. It is what it is. He also has an articulated mouth, which is very nice. Other than that, the articulation is standard with these new Dinobot Constructbots. Ball-jointed hips, ball-jointed knees, ball-jointed ankles. So you have calf rotation, ankle pivot, ankle rotation, movement at the hips, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, ball-jointed wrists. So you do even have the rotation at the elbow and bicep area, which was lacking on the earlier ones. And as we'll see in robot mode, he has a ball-jointed head, which is much more expressive than the deluxe class figure. Now, to transform him, very simple. First, what you want to do is come in behind, and like all the other Dinobots, go ahead and yank off the tail. That's actually something I do want to mention, is these, whereas before the armor bits and stuff would peg on, these are all joined by a C-clip. And I just noticed this now, right here. If I can, I'm going to have to, bear with me, I'm going to have to clean up the camera here a little for you to see this, because I want you to see it. Right where my finger is a severe stress mark. That's a little concerning right there, but we'll see. I mean, in recent years, the figures have gotten stress marks, and that has, but they haven't broken or anything. So we've removed the tail. Go ahead, stand the figure up, just like so. Allow me to adjust the camera ever so slightly. Going to come down to the feet, rotate them around. I do suggest when doing this, grab the figure where I am from the lower leg, just to ensure that ball joints don't pop off and what have you. Coming back up, you have a little bit of a choice here. Go ahead and rotate down the arms. I want to say that I do appreciate the fact that they went with using the robot arms as the Dino arms. Instead of, they could have very easily just done molded Dino arms, but that would have been very close to Grimlock. I like this. It's a little better. It makes them a little bit different. Go ahead, straighten the arms out, and then rotate the fists around. The fists you can position however you want, depending on how the dinosaur is positioned. Next, come on in behind here. And I do want to mention that I do like the fact that there is basically a closed back here. And come in, rotate the dino head down and away. Doesn't really peg into anything, but that's okay. And then come in, rotate around the robot head. And here we have Scorn in his robot mode. I'm just positioning him to make sure you get them all in. You can come in and then take the tail weapon, and this will basically be his lance. Unfortunately, he does not have a secondary sword, which, you know, is a little disappointing, but what are you going to do? And here he is, Scorn in his robot mode. And like I've said, I do believe that this is by far the best Dinobot Constructbot thus far, taking into consideration the much simpler transformation, which isn't surprising since Scorn is widely considered the best Dinobot we've received thus far. Um, Again, I do like the colors, basically the same as in dinosaur mode. A little silver here on the chest, a little blue here in his night visor, which is very similar to the deluxe figure. But yeah, I really like it. These are fun builds, and they're having a good time. So let's pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Dinobot Scorn is a fantastic Constructbot. Yes, it's simple. Yes, the build is rather repetitive, but the transformation is different so because the dinosaur is different, and it really does look cool. Crosshairs is like every other Dino Rider figure. They're fun, little cute little transformers that I think kids will love, and I really believe those will be the stars of the Age of Extinction toy line. Now I do want to mention getting him on Scorn is a little bit tricky since his clip is much further up, as you can see, and you do have to do some finagling with the backpack to get the proper clearance. Also, it does cause, because of the fact that he's further up on the neck, Crosshairs does cause some balance issues, but as you can see, you just have to sit there and fiddle with it and get things straightened out. Like I said, I got this set off of Hasbro Toy Shop. They're still available now. Highly recommended. If you want to wait, you can wait for retail. I'm sure they'll be around since collectors really don't touch Constructbots. But like I said, they're fun. It's your old pal Chuck for Scorn and Crosshairs. We'll see you next time.